We're not just casually reviewing Physics 0625 today, we are executing a full-blown tactical mission to legally steal marks straight from the Cambridge examiner's mark scheme. You see, every single mark is locked behind a very specific pattern, and we are going to crack that code right now. Zero fluff, just the exact strategy you need to win.
Take a look at the left here. Volume equals 45. Boom, 0 marks. But on the right, volume equals 45.3 centimeters cubed. Full marks. The difference? The student on the left rounded way too early and completely forgot the unit. In Cambridge Physics, dropping a unit or messing up a significant figure doesn't just lose you a tiny point, it can literally drop you an entire grade boundary. The stakes are massive from the very first second of your exam.
Okay, let's dive into this. Mastering Section 1, which is measuring length, time, volume, and density, sits at the absolute foundation of the entire 0625 syllabus. It's like the bedrock. If you build on a shaky foundation here, your mechanics calculations, your thermal physics, and your wave analysis will all crumble later on. This is your core engine for securing those high-tier marks.
Section 1. The Arsenal, your core tools.
You know why ordinary textbook revision usually fails? Because it doesn't prepare you for the traps. These right here are the silent alarms we absolutely must avoid tripping. Things like missing units, graph axis errors, weak practical improvements. Listen, you can understand the physics perfectly and still walk away with a 0 if you fall into one of these. The examiner is ruthlessly testing your exam discipline.
Now contrast those sloppy mistakes with a perfectly executed data table. Look closely at how the headers contain both the physical quantity and the standard unit, length in meters, time in seconds. Notice the strict consistency in decimal places and those clear uncertainty margins, like plus or minus 0.1 seconds. This is an easy, immediate win. You are securing crucial practical marks before you even plot a single point on a graph, simply by formatting your table exactly how the mark scheme demands.
Section 2. Spot the trap. Anatomy of errors.
All right, here's a scenario for you. A student is measuring the density of an irregular object using the displacement method. On their paper, they write, I dropped the rock in the water, saw the water go up, and divided mass by the volume. So where exactly did this student lose the mark? Pause and predict. Take a guess. In a moment, I'll show you the hidden examiner clue that changes the answer completely. But first, you need the framework that makes that clue obvious. Stick with me because leaving right now means missing the exact phrase that unlocks the top band.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the exact wording pulled straight from the examiner's report. Listen to this. Marks lost due to vague explanations. A strong answer must include correct terminology and substituted values with units. So the student in our scenario failed because saying they dropped the rock is completely unscientific. They needed to state that they recorded the initial and final volume readings. The mark scheme is super strict, but it's also very, very predictable.
Section 3. The framework. Cracking the perfect answer.
Enter our proprietary 4-step framework. Step 1 is concept. State the physical law or equation clearly. Step 2 is evidence and data. Extract the exact numbers from the source, the graph, or your table. Step 3 is scientific reasoning. Show step by step how you get from that data to the result. And step 4 is examiner wording. Fulfill the command word requirements perfectly using that precise terminology we were just talking about.
The real takeaway here is this absolute formula for success. Concept plus substituted values plus correct units equals secured marks. If you're calculating density, write the concept first. Rho equals mass over volume. Then substitute your values, say 50 grams divided by 10 centimeters cubed. Then provide the final answer with units. Miss the formula, you lose a mark. Miss the unit, you lose a mark. You really need to treat this equation as your bulletproof insurance policy.
Section 4. Hard mode. The examiner's trap.
Okay, let's look at this high-level scenario. You're running a density experiment, and suddenly a glaring anomaly appears in your data table, just a result that is way off from the overall trend. The exam asks, how do you improve accuracy and secure the reliability mark? Think critically about your variables here. Think about what makes data actually reliable in a physics lab. What is your exact next move?
And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. The flawed answer simply says, ignore the weird result. Yeah, that gets the examiner's red pen instantly. The top band full mark answer explicitly states, identify the anomaly, exclude it from the mean calculation, and repeat the measurement to improve reliability. You have to show the examiner you actually know the scientific protocol for handling bad data. Vague observations just don't score. exam-safe wording is mandatory.
Section 5. The final check. Securing your grade.
You've got to drill these final practical data checks into your mind for literally any measurement question. Are units included on every final answer? Are your significant figures actually reasonable? Is your graph scale accurate, taking up more than half the grid? Are measurement uncertainties addressed? And maybe most importantly, is your final conclusion directly supported by the data you gathered? If you can confidently check off all these boxes, those marks are securely yours.
So, you've successfully cracked the measurement in data marks. But what happens when you flip the page and the exam command words change entirely? What happens when a simple describe suddenly becomes a complex evaluate? The rules of the game shift instantly, and if you aren't prepared for exactly how the mark scheme adapts, you're going to walk right into a brand new set of traps.
Mastering the next phase of this pattern library is your mandatory next step to ensure those grade boundaries don't slip away. You need to know exactly how to handle those shifting command words. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. The escape tunnel to your next tactical advantage is waiting right there in our next explainer. Because remember, the examiner isn't just testing what you know, they're testing how well you can play their game. See you there.